Hello, Southern New Hampshire students. I want to go over this with you quickly. If you would like to have a quick explanation of the first transaction, I want to give that to you now. And then I also want to demonstrate some linking to show you how to link your amounts together so that if you do have a mistake, you can change it in one place and it will carry forward to the rest of your assignment. And that's going to save you a lot of time so that you'll be able to work on other assignments. Time is of essence because we have an 8-week class, and so time is very important. So any kind of time-saving techniques that I can give you are certainly going to be valuable. Okay, so let's take a look at this. $75,000 of 6% term bonds are due January 1st. This is 10 periods with an interest payable June 30th and December 31st. Investors require effective interest rate of 8% and record the entries for the issuance of each bond. So we're going to have effective interest of 8%, but we're going to be paying interest semi-annually. So that's going to be, we can use half of that, which is 4%. And let's see, we have our 6% bonds. So our semi-annual interest is going to be 75,000 times 6% times 6/12, which is half the year because we're going to have half as much, right? We're going to divide that by 2. Okay, so let's take a look at our entry. Now, we can do a very quick present value formula by going equal PV for present value. Then we're going to type in our effective interest rate, which in this case is going to be 0.04. Remember, it was half of 8%. And then for how many periods? 10 periods. And our interest was $22.50, which was 75,000 times 6% divided by 2. And then our bond amount was 75,000. Those negatives there. There we go. Equal. So then that's going to give us 60. What did I do? I didn't get my 75,000 in there. Okay. That's going to give us $68,916.83 for the amount of cash that we're going to receive. Then our bond payable, as we know, was already 75,000. We saw that was given to us in the transaction. So now I'm going to go over here to my ledger account. I'm going to go to my cash. I'm going to click equal. I'm going to go back over here to my journal entry. I'm going to click in that box and click enter, and that's going to bring that right over to that. It's going to be linked to my journal entry. So if I have a mistake and I need to fix it, and I fix it on my journal entry, it's automatically going to come over to this spot as well. Now let's go to the bond payable. We'll go equal. We'll go over here to our journal entry, click on that number for the bond payable. Notice it's a credit. We clicked on the credit in the ledger account, click enter, it goes straight into the credit side of the ledger account there. What if I need to change something? What if my bond is really 70,000? Okay, we go up to the formula, we make it 70,000. We go to this spot, we make it 70,000, and then we go over to the ledger accounts and we see that it has automatically fixed it, right? It's automatically adjusted to the amount that we put in that slot. Okay, so now let's go back over to the journal entry and let's fix it back to the correct amount. So that it's right. And let's go back over to the ledger account. See, it's fixed to the correct amount. So anytime you use linking, it's going to help you tremendously because it's going to save you a lot of time. You can also use your linking over in your income statement and your balance sheet. So we've typed in service revenue as our account, as our revenue accounts. Let's do insert. Let's try the cash. Let's do the cash that we've got so far. Okay, so our cash account is, let's do equal. And let's go over here to our Milestone ledger account, and let's go to the bottom because we're going to want these numbers to be our balances, and click enter, and that's going to bring that cash over, which means that as you go along, okay, in your ledger account, you're going to keep on entering numbers in these sections, right? So let's say that my next entry, I think I got a note payable, didn't I, for 120. 400, is that what I did? A note payable? Let's take a look real quick and I'll just do this one real quick and we'll look and see. Okay, so yeah, we have a note payable, no, a lease, a new lease. That's the lease, so that's not a cash item. The long-term note, the 60,000. Let's do the 60,000 one. Let's not do that one. Let's go to that's not right. Let's see. Let's say the March 6th one. Let's go to the journal entry. Let's go there. Let's see, March 6th, link it to the March 6th. March 6th equal. Go to the journal entry from March 6th, equal, enter that. Okay, let's put that journal entry in there. We got a note payable on March 6th. We issued a note payable, and it was 60,000. This is pretty straightforward to intermediate accounting students simply because you guys know how to do these transactions because you had this in Principles 1. Okay, so let's go to the March 6th. It automatically, because we already linked it, so it automatically went to the cash. Let's go down to our note payable. Let's go over to our note payable. Let's link the credit in that entry. Link the credit. There we go. It's there, right? Okay, so now let's go over to our balance sheet. And note that our cash has already changed because we linked it to the balance, right? So because we linked it to the balance, it equals the balance. You can do all of your entries and your balance will automatically go to your balance sheet, which is awesome, right? Because if you make a change, it's going to automatically fix everything, hopefully. Okay, so that's the basic linking situation. I'm going to go because this is 7 minutes. I don't want to spend too much of your time looking at the video, but I did want to show you the linking concept. Thank you so much for being here. If you have questions, please reach out to me.